broadcast live.
Coming to you live.
We're live
From the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show on the Three Beards Podcast, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live.
And
now,
Broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live
with Craig, Chris, Austin, and Matt on the Fight Mixer Show.
Welcome to the Fight Mixer Show on the Three Beards Podcast. My name is Craig. Along with me, Chris. Austin is going to be commenting with us while he's on his way home, so he'll be a little late to it. But we would like to welcome into the Fight Mixer Show, Mr. Justin the Machine Osborn. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing really good, sir. Now, this, I'm sure, we were talking a little bit prior to the show about you stuff. So let everybody know. So you've been involved in the gym, teaching classes. What has that been entailing right now, especially for you guys, seeing that finally things are opening up and now you're able to start bringing people into the gym?
Yeah, things are opening up slowly. We're on phase 2 of reopening the economy here in Nevada. And so we have a limited class size, so that way there's not too many people, and there's we follow some social distance guidelines. So if you have a training partner, your group is a certain distance away from the other groups.
Okay. Now, what do you mainly teach at that gym? And instruct? Is it?
So I help teach Muay Thai classes at Syndicate Mixed Martial Arts, and so 4 o'clock I help teach 4 o'clock 8 to 13-year-olds and 6 o'clock adults, and then I also do an MMA Foundations class at 7 on Thursdays and Fridays.
Oh, nice. So now, have you been seeing a pretty good involvement right now with things locking in? I mean, is it starting to feel like it's kind of coming back to normal?
Yeah, things are definitely getting back to normal. I think people were just getting tired of being locked in their houses, and they just needed to get out. So it's been very good class sizes. So it's been great, and I think it's been really cool because people are very enthusiastic right now, because sometimes you get into that day-to-day routine, and then when something is taken away from you and then you get back to it, it's very gratifying.
So have you seen a sure spike in numbers? Because I know all the bicycles flew off the shelves, fishing poles, people did stuff they've never done in their life during COVID. Have you seen a spike in the numbers? Everybody wants to come to the gym now to try to learn something?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's been new members getting signed up each day here, so it's been pretty cool to see.
Now, if you want, you can give a shout to the gym name. What was your gym name again?
Syndicate Mixed Martial Arts.
Syndicate. Awesome. Yeah, and we'll try to get a link from there, and we'll get that up. Jet, how are you, sir? This guy was on the show last night, and so one of the things I had. So you've got your last bout was in February. Now,
That's right.
Are you still signed with Battlefield Fight League?
No, that was just a one-off.
Okay. So who are you currently under for promotion?
Not under anybody. Just when you're working your way up the regional circuit, it's usually just a series of one-offs.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking over and saw that one. And so, do you have anything lined up currently, like you're in that you could talk about, or is it something that's just kind of like negotiating right now? I really can't speak.
Um, nothing currently. There's one possibility, but I can't really speak about it right now.
All right. Well, we'll try not to pry. Like I said, we don't want to get anybody in trouble for yeah.
So
Nice.
have so how hard have you been training during COVID? I mean, I know you got to stay ready for that call if somebody calls and say, "Hey, we want you to come fight on a card." So how ready have you been?
Well, I've been very ready. I mean, so during the quarantine and when the gym was like locked down, I was getting a lot of training in with AJ Matthews, Roxanne Modafferi, Taiwan Claxton, and Neil Melanson during the when it was obviously under strict lockdown, and we just go in the garage and just work as hard as you possibly can and just make the best of it.
That's cool. Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
cool. Yeah, have you done any training with Serena De Jesus? She's right there. She's been training a lot with Roxy.
Yeah. So I've had contact with Serena, and not during the lockdown because she's been self isolating herself much more because her mom has a pre existing condition. So she obviously has to can't have as much of a cavalier attitude as some of us.
Yeah, I mean it's it's hard. I mean, I've been friends with a few people in there too, and it's just especially in the BJJ community, it's just they want to get on the mat. They want to roll, and they're like, let us go. I mean, we don't want to isolate, because obviously, like in your thing, there's only just so much you can do shadow boxing. You got to have a training partner. The
Right.
grapple
Yeah.
dummy doesn't hit back.
Yeah. There's some drills you can do on your own for grappling, but I mean, the vast majority of it you got to have a partner for. So I can definitely sympathize with people that they just want to get back in class, put the gi on, and roll around and choke their friends. But you know, it's a tough situation that we're all in, and we just gotta wait, and hopefully they get this vaccine done soon.
Yeah, I was
So
just actually hearing about that today. They're talking about early 2021 is when they thought they were going to roll out quite a few of those in the U.S.
so if you had to pick a favorite moment in your career, what would that be? We like to ask that question to let people, talk about their self more. What would be the most favorite moment in your career? Favorite fight, etc.
That's a good question. I would say my favorite moment was I got a liver kick knockout in my third amateur fight. I just love that because my coaches spotted very early on that I could kick really hard, and even with bad technique, I could still kick hard. So then they really worked hard to refine my kicking technique, and then it all kind of came to a head in that fight, and it was beautiful. It was like and when it landed, it sounded like a gunshot went off. It was crazy, and it was the first fight my mom went to, and she didn't even want to watch it. And then when she heard the sound of it, she panicked, and then she was like, "Oh, Justin won. Oh, it's okay." So that was a pretty cool moment. Get out I get out of the cage, and then I go I go out on Bourbon Street because it was in New Orleans. So I go out on Bourbon Street, just have a good old time after that. So that was probably my favorite moment.
Nice. Now, do you ever plan on doing a lot like Muay Thai competition at all? I mean, since that seems to be what you really do, or is it mostly just use that skill set in your MMA?
Um, I don't know. That's I don't plan on it, but I'm pretty spontaneous, so if I saw an opportunity, why not? But it's funny, everybody thinks I'm a striker, but most of my wins are by submission, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think you had three of them. It wasn't three of them submission one. I mean, I know there's a triangle choke, and then I think that was your
So
first fight, wasn't it?
yeah, so I got a triangle choke in my first fight, and then let's see, in my fourth amateur fight, I got a rear naked choke, and then let's see here. So then my seventh amateur fight, I got an anaconda choke, and then my pro debut, I got a guillotine. So
Yeah,
So,
it's like, yeah, so I think that's like 5 or something. I don't know. I'm not really keeping track. But,
so basically, you scare the guys so much from what it sounds like. They're scared of that liver kick, so they get close enough so you can choke them out.
yeah, something like that.
It works though, as long as it keeps working.
Yeah, we got she's well renowned here in Florida. It's our number one MMA fan, Debbie Gamble. She's your favorite ice cream. She likes to get to know kind of more of the story about the fighters. So if you had to pick a player,
So my favorite flavor of ice cream, probably chocolate.
okay. So what? Just one of the simple, nothing too complicated, just the chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, I like it when it's like, I mean, if it's like
I'm
one
vanilla,
single
so
flavor,
yeah,
chocolate,
I'm not judging.
then
I'm
I
vanilla,
like the
so
chocolate, the fudge, the brown,
You're
juice,
vanilla
and all that
ice.
in it, you know what I mean?
yeah. So this,
So what? Our producer had a question for you. What is your favorite part of the day of the fight? Like, getting there, getting to the arena, like getting ready, like, what's the favorite part? What's the most favorite part of your fight, the day of the fight?
Oh, just being in there and fighting. Like the waiting part is it. It's kind of boring and redundant. It's like, can we just fight right now? I mean, me and the guy are in the same hotel. Why don't we just get it on in the parking lot? You know what I mean? Nah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
Well, that's
I just enjoy. I just enjoy being in there and slanging and banging, bobbing, weaving, juking and jiving. You know what I mean?
so. Where's your mind
so I
at when
mean,
you're coming out of that room? For your walk down.
Um, I guess I'm not really thinking too much. I'm just taking it all in, taking in the moment, and just listening to my music play.
I know you're on the amateur professional level. It's like, okay, you said something that I've never heard before. You all are in the same hotel. Is there animosity between the teams, or it's all a job? So you see that team sees you at breakfast via in the morning, or before the fight, or is it? I mean, you're in the same hotel, so is it just like I see him, I nod my head, I'm gonna keep it going because I know what's gonna happen tomorrow. How does that work?
Sometimes there's animosity, and sometimes we keep the two teams keep it professional. I mean, I've had people talking. I have people talking smack to me at the weigh-ins and stuff. So it doesn't really, it definitely it adds a little bit extra, for me when guys are talking trash. So it makes it fun.
Yeah,
It's
Got
like
you.
yeah.
they think they know what they're signing up for, but they have no idea.
Yeah. So one of the questions popped up there too. It's like, now, if you could fight somebody right now, I mean, without trying, to think, who would it be? Who would you want to get into the ring with right now? Get into the octagon. Who are we battling?
I'd like to avenge all my losses.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. There's not
Picky.
not anybody in the lightweight division that you said you want to take on right now.
I mean, if I had to pick like my dream fight, as in like besides avenging my losses, let's see. It's a tough question, man. Probably probably like I mean, honestly, I'd like to fight Khabib. I mean, who wouldn't want to fight him? I mean, who wouldn't want to be the guy that takes that O off his record, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or a
You know,
prime Tony Ferguson, or a Gaethje. I mean, I'm just a competitor through and through. I'm not too picky.
Okay.
The better the opponent is, the more excited I get.
Mm.
which one of those do you think has probably got the best shot of doing it right now? I mean, do you think Ferguson? Do you think you know? Do you think one of those got Justin Scott's? He's got what it takes right now to take him down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing about Gaethje is he was an All-American wrestler at University of Northern Colorado, and I actually I used to live in Colorado, and I got to see him a little bit. I mean, I never trained with the guy, but you can definitely see that guy is willing to pay the price to fight a guy like Khabib. Because it's like when you fight a guy that's as talented as Khabib, you just have to go in there knowing that you're gonna take some punishment. You're gonna take your licks, but you got to get back up and be ready to fight. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, totally. I mean, it's one of those. Because even looking back on it, I watched the replay of the McGregor, Khabib fight, and that one, even then, it's just in hindsight, I thought about it, it's just like, man, Khabib was dominating, and I watched it again. I'm like, actually, it wasn't a dominating one. It just Connor gassed himself in the end, and he ended up getting choked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gassed himself because he was carrying Khabib's weight.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when a guy it's not flashy, but when a guy's just hanging on you like a backpack like that, I mean,
Yep.
it can get very tiring, very, very fast.
Did you watch any of that UFC card a couple Sundays ago? Actually, that happened with the heavyweight bout. Overeem and when that wasn't
And
Overeem.
Harris. Yeah,
Yeah.
Overeem and Harris. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah, same thing happened, and with the heavyweight division, I mean, it's different because I mean those guys, the weight disparity can get kind of crazy. I mean, even if Overeem is like, I think he went into that bout like 250, maybe in the low 250s, and Harris had to cut weight, but it's still those bigger guys. It takes them more energy to get up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you watch like a 125-pound fight, and the guys are scrambling all over the place, because they're lighter, so then they're able to move a little bit quicker because they don't have as much weight to carry as say a heavyweight.
Do you have one of our questions is, do you have an MMA role model, and who is it? Who is your MMA role model? Do you have one?
Demetrius Johnson. That guy is so awesome. I got the opportunity. I was in Seattle for a job interview, so I got an opportunity to train at AMC Pancration for a week, and it was just so cool. Not just to see him, but like to see the way that his peers talked about him and held him in such high regard, not even just for like his fighting ability, but also his character. And also too, I mean, the guy's just the consummate professional and martial artist. I mean, you see these guys and they get so big, they get big, and then they think they're too big to go take a class with everybody else. And Mighty Mouse is not like that. He's taken a kickboxing class with Joe Schmo, the accountant.
That's awesome.
So that's really cool. It's really cool to see that, because you can never like refine your basics too much, and that guy is. And the other thing too that I like about him is he's always making the right decisions in his fights most of the time. Like you never watch like a Demetrius Johnson fight and you're just like, why the hell did he do that? For example, you know what I mean? So it's cool. Like I really like and respect him, not only for his ability, but for the way he carries himself.
But
yeah,
that goes.
There'd have to be something, to say for that. Just the fact that you've got somebody who's shouldn't have anything till you'd think wouldn't have anything to learn, but he's like, no, I've still got so much to learn. I want to go down here I said I want to grapple with you because I may pick up one little thing that you've somehow figured out, and now because I've grappled with you, I'm gonna, all of a sudden, bam, I've got that skill set.
It
That's
Yeah,
pretty
seems
cool.
like
exactly.
people that don't like to learn new things are kind of, they get stagnant no matter how much it seems repetitive. Like Craig said, I'm a piggyback. You might learn a new way to grab that hold or lock that choke in. I mean, it's all technique, but you might learn somebody might do it a little different to get you there. So I mean, it's always good to learn new things. And
Yeah, it's good to learn new things, but it's also good to refine the day one stuff too. So that's the balancing act. Is sometimes you have to learn new. Sometimes you need to learn new things, and then sometimes you have to tear it all down and redo the foundation.
makes sense.
So, Matt, your producer, was asking, do you think John Jones is gonna head to Bellator, or do you think he's done?
Nah, probably not. I mean, I don't see him being done. I mean, they're probably gonna have a nice little standoff here for a little while, and then they'll work something out.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's and that was one of those we've debated a couple of times too. It's just, is this one? I don't know. I mean, is this? Do you think Dana White is just done with the whole game? It's like I've had enough. It's just I'm on to I'm on to other things. I mean, it's like he's done a lot for the sport, but at the same time, at a certain point, if he becomes so much of a headache, you know, cut bait and fish elsewhere.
Who knows, man? I mean, Dana White's Dana White's got a tough job. I mean,
Oh,
it's
I know.
like you're trying to manage. It's like five 600 fighters on the roster or something like that. I mean, John Jones isn't the only headache he's got to worry about, and it's not only he's got to worry about those headaches, but then he's also got to worry about building up the next generation of stars as well. So, I mean, I who knows? I mean, he's got so much going on right now that I mean, you think about it like this: you got a 125-pound title that's vacant, a 135-pound title that's vacant, and a 205-pound title that's vacant. That's three title fights that you got to make right there.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, I wonder. Like I said, you think that would be priority. Get those on the books. Let's get those going right now. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot on to have on your plate all the same time. So it's got to make sense why he was just like, dude, I don't have time for this.
Right.
God love you, but I mean, like you said, look at everything else I got to take on. I can't do this right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's so. Another question for you is: so what have you found is probably the biggest obstacle that you've had to overcome, or you know, keep tackling, to get to yourself to where you are now? And
I would say the biggest obstacle that I'd have to overcome is just putting myself in uncomfortable situations, in the training room, and then because that's how you have to uh, refine your bad habits. That's kind of what I've been working on right now is just refining some of the bad habits that I have. So and in doing that, it gets uncomfortable because you're not necessarily used to applying a technique a certain way, but in the long run it'll make you better. So that's what I commend my coaches for right now. It's like we lost this last fight, and we're just going through and refi- refining my foundation a little bit so that way the same situations don't occur again.
okay, yeah, that's it was one of those. I watched a couple of them, and I said I was impressed with the position. I mean, especially like that. Some of those kicks. I mean, those things, man, those are spot on. I mean, like I said, it sounded like I said that crack. When that's. So I mean, there's definitely some power behind there. I mean, and that's one of those, like we asked some fighters. I mean, what's that feeling when you catch that head kick?
Oh, it's crazy, man. It's like you're not kicking anything at all. It's like kicking a. It's almost like you're kicking like a paper bag almost. And
Yeah. I mean, since they're so rare, I mean, does it kind of almost catch you a little bit like by surprise as a fighter? When you land one pretty square on somebody's head, because you don't see it all the time, and it's just all of a sudden it's just you just hear that pow. You look and you're just like, that's got to be inside. Like, oh my god, I got one. It's just
yeah, it's you kind of get excited, but then you have to recompose yourself. Like I had my one amateur loss. I got 3 knockdowns in the fight, and lost a split decision. So,
Ah, dude,
so you drop a guy 3 times, and then I got excited each and every time, and then tried to bury him all 3 times, and then the dude was like a zombie. So that's one of the hard lessons I had to learn was like. And it's so dumb because you know it, but then you have a lot of confidence in yourself, right? So it's like not everybody is just gonna, when you knock them down, they're not just all gonna be, dead bodies. You gotta, so you gotta recompose yourself and try not to get too excited.
okay.
So were you incited as the aspect of he got up and landed some shots, or it was just you knocked him down and you continued to give it to him, or how did that work? I mean, you say and typically I think if you get 3 knockdowns, you should win the bout. I mean, that's
yeah, I mean that's I mean you can just take you can take it up with the judges or whatever, but yeah, we were all kind of like, we were all kind of dumbfounded by the decision, but hey, I should have just put him away, and I probably could have if I would have been a little more composed instead of just jumping in wildly. Like, been a little more composed, maybe like grab the leg, pull it to the side, and start passing. But each time it was like I knocked him down, and he got like it was weird. It was like he would be in a bad position, and I was like, okay, I can just jump on him. But then it was like I would hit him, and then it would bring him back to life. It was crazy. And that guy now, and I mean, I respect Caleb. I respect that guy, Caleb Harris. I mean, he's actually won a couple fights in bare knuckle.
Caleb Harris, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you thought about bare knuckle for yourself?
Nah, I don't think so. It's not for me, but some people like it though.
Yeah, it's definitely brutal. It's one of those. I hats off for people that are willing to step in the ring and do that.
I don't even mind the how brutal it is. It's just a matter of like, breaking your hands.
Yeah, that's
like everybody's breaking their hands in bare knuckle.
Yeah, Debbie was asking. I was getting ready to ask you that well too. So where and who gave you the nickname the Machine?
Well, it came from I had a weigh-in, and then after the weigh-in, I ate my plate, and then I finished both of my coach's plates. So then that's where it all started.
He's a machine. Okay, I got it. That's cool. No, it's now you had mentioned earlier, that you had to wrap it up here soon, but we've got the other guests coming on tonight. You're more than welcome to stick on with us if you want.
Okay.
Okay. So like I said, you don't have to leave. We're gonna bring him in here just shortly, but before we do, just once again let you plug. If you've got a site where people can come and see your stuff, support you, tout any sponsors. Like I said, the floor is yours.
Okay, so my Instagram is Justin_the Machine MMA, and I'd like to shout out Mako Tech mouth guards. They make the best mouth guards in the business. They're comfortable, yet protect your teeth so well. It's crazy, and it fits just like a glove. And then I'd also like to shout out my coaches, AJ Matthews, Neil Melanson, John Wood at Syndicate, and that's about all I got, guys. pretty
All
soon.
right. Well, perfect. Like I said, is just, wanted to give you definitely a time that get ready to bring on Christopher Curtis here. Yeah. So that, and yep, there he is.
I was like, hey, Justin,
Oh, what up?
up?
I know this guy.
I was like, he's not on the way to practice. I'm like, if he has to teach tonight, I'm like, I should be going to practice.
We're able
I'll
to
be in
reenact
a
you.
couple
There we
minutes,
go.
man.
Oh, you got my old nickname. You got to change it.
Yeah. All right. So what's the new
Yeah, he's the
nickname?
king of combat
King of
now.
combat.
Don't you know?
King of Combat. There you go. Yeah. I think we had it down as Action Man. So yeah.
They're
So that was,
interchangeable. I'm just fucking with you.
no, we take those. We take those.
There's like 15 nicknames that like they're cycled through, so it's no big.
See, right there, King of Conversation.
Oh, there you go.
Fixed. Well, welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
I am living the dream, man. Actually, I'm really tired. I just woke up a few minutes ago.
Hey, we appreciate you taking time out of the sleeping schedule there to get us in. So we appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, this morning, practice today killed me, so I went home and passed out. Now I'm like this, and then this is actually keeping me from having to go back right now. So I thank you guys.
Oh yeah, it's one of those kind of like a little story. Like I don't know, you guys are fairly new to interacting with us, but when we started this out, we started out just kind of like doing college football, kind of doing the same, and then all of a sudden we had an interview with an acquaintance of Chris, Martin Brown, and we're like, that interview was fun as hell. I mean, this one was we actually enjoyed. So the college football guys, we would get some of them. They would be there, but they had so many rules and restrictions from athletic departments on what they could talk about, when they could do them. And we started talking. Then we talked to Jeremy Davis, and then we started going down this list. And we're like, we really like talking to MMA fighters, man. This is a lot of fun.
We're the weird, awkward Southern cousin of like the sports world, like the athlete world. So it's just weird. Like no one really cares what we do. Like we're just out there with our nose breaking stuff.
Yeah, it's the real life WWE type thing, just where it's like everybody wants to get their name out there. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to. It's just like, this is fun. We have to do this.
We definitely have way more fun than anybody else. We get paid way less, but we have more fun.
Yeah.
We need to change that. I mean, y'all put everything on the line for a fight. I mean, and I don't know. Maybe it'll get like pro football or something like that eventually one day. I mean, I don't know, but I find MMA a lot entertaining.
I hope so, because like seriously, at the rate that I'm going now, I got to get like a really good payday and hope that technology allows me to be a cyborg in like the next 10 years. Or I'm going to be really messed up. I'm banking on technology, man.
Dude, I want to get some stem cells myself, man.
Dude, just give me a bionic arm. Like, just give me that, and I'm cool.
All right, I gotta go, guys. See ya.
Oh, hey,
it's like I gotta go.
He's out. Nope, that's what. It's like I said. Well, hey, but it's kind of along that thing, too. It's just I really just enjoyed talking with you guys and finding your stories, because that's always been the thing. It's like everybody can look at Tapology. I can run down the list and like, you beat this guy, you beat this guy. It's like I just rather get in your head. It's like find out like you yourself, Kurt. It's like when did you decide that you wanted to punch dudes for a living?
Oh, dude, like I've always loved fighting more than I should. Like I remember, I was a little kid, man. When you're like third grade, like first grade, you're playing in the playground, and you're playing Power Rangers, whatever. And then by the time fifth grade hits, like people are playing football on the playground. I'm still playing Power Rangers by myself, like playing Street Fighter. Yeah, like sixth grade rolls around, people are playing sports and stuff, and like talking to girls. I'm still like, who wants to play Street Fighter today? So I was like, all right, man, I just like fighting. And it's like the only thing that's kept my interest from childhood to now.
Yeah, so what was your first dip into the MMA thing? How did that come about, and what was that experience like for you?
I started boxing when I was younger, and then as I got older, I kind of had the discipline to stay into it. And I did some martial arts here and there, but I was just going around like fighting people. for a long time when I was younger. I finally, I'm like 19 at the time. I'm just being a waste of space in society, like starting fights and everything. And my boss at the time I worked for, I lived with him. He found an MMA gym, Spears Gym, back in Cincinnati, which is like the local gym we all started at for some reason. He's like, these guys, they were holding fights like once a month, like illegally, I think. I don't know. It was kind of questionable about it. It's looking back on it, it's kind of questionable. But so I went to Spears Gym and I started training for like 3 weeks. And then he was like, "You want to fight next weekend?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And I just went right into it. And I went in. I fought. It's funny because my son has been my son was 3 weeks old when I had my first fight. He was there, and he was there with his mom, and I had my first fight. I won that one. I should have lost, but I won by like great luck. Like I fought the Marine combat instructor. He actually hit me out cold, like the first punch, and he hit me again as I hit the cage, and I woke up. And I woke up, but I like swung, and I broke his jaw. And so it was one of those ones. I was like, okay, I won, but I didn't really win. I didn't really win, so I went back at it, and I've been doing it ever since. Like I've been fighting full time for 8-9 years now.
You got a lot of fights under your belt. It says your career length is like 16 years, so you've been literally fighting 16 years. You've got a lot of fights under your belt.
Man, there's really not much not much else that I do. I've been training like full time for a long time. And I'm at like 31 right now, professional fights. I had 22 amateur fights. There's some boxing matches in there, everything else. I've been fighting for a while, but I mean, what else am I going to do? I can't sing and I can't dance. I don't want to work 9 to 5.
Question: I've never heard of that. Has that ever happened to you again? You've been hit and knocked out and actually hit the cage and woke up? I mean, I know the
No,
refs are pretty on it, but I've never heard anybody say that. Has that actually happened to you and you want to fight?
no, man, that was that was the last time I've been knocked out for real because like he hit me so hard. I was knocked out. I was at home holding my kid. And then he hit me like, I woke up. Like, oh no, I'm still here. And then last year, actually, having my knock, the only other knockout I've had in my career, and Ray Cooper, freaking Ray Cooper, man. So my biggest weaknesses apparently are small Hawaiians. Tiny Hawaiians are like my kryptonite, like Russians and tiny Hawaiians. So, he got me last year. That's the first time I've been knocked out in 10 years. I was like, damn it, Ray Cooper. I thought I was invincible.
Wow. So where you originally from?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, Cincinnati.
Did someone ask me what's my favorite ice cream?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
Debbie Gamble is the biggest MMA follower in the state of Florida. She follows any MMA fighter. Everybody knows her. So she wants to get personal. She wants to get to know you.
No problem.
I mean,
How are you, Debbie? And answer to that. So oddly, it was cookies and cream my entire life. I think at 30, I'll be 33 next month. I think I finally matured because now I eat old people ice cream like
Haagen-Dazs stuff.
butter pecan and mint chip are like the only ice creams I enjoy now. Like, the kind you hated as a kid, your parents got, and you're like, what are you doing? This is gross.
You spit all the buttered pecans out, and you just eat the ice cream when you're a kid. You're like, dude, this ice cream with pecans.
Yeah, right. And now I'm like, this is the only one. Man, I'm officially an adult. That was my like, not anything else. Like, I get butter pecan ice cream by choice.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll really get old when you start looking forward to like licorice ice cream and stuff like that. That's when. This is different for me. Yeah,
you ran from now. I'm like, man, butter pecan sounds delicious.
Yeah, yeah. Where he's gonna break off the interview. It's like, I got to go to the store.
Yeah, right.
Like, let's talk about ice cream now.
Butter pecan and Tums. Like, there you go.
Oh yeah.
So do you have anything? Do you have anything coming up that you can talk about? Or are you waiting on a call, or do you have any fights that you want to fight right now?
All of those. Let's see. I have a fight scheduled in October for Aries. I signed with Aries. They're like out of South Africa or somewhere. So I'm fighting in Belgium, in Brussels, in October.
Okay.
Some random French guy who I don't know and I don't really care. He annoys me, so I'm just gonna beat him up.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's just he's a target. He's a paycheck. And then
Nice.
I'm trying to actually fight before that up in Canada. I still have a bunch of belts, and I want to fight up in Canada before that, just because like I've been sitting around for way too long. I thought I was gonna be able to fight this month, but it got pushed back. So hopefully I can fight in August and October. But right now, UFC's got fights going on out here. I'm in Vegas, so we're trying to stay ready. Hopefully, we can worm our way onto a short notice card because I can beat up a bunch of UFC guys and still never get signed, and I can get on contenders and still never get signed. So,
So, what,
yeah, I'm trying. I'm still trying. We'll see.
so what do you think that is? I mean, we've asked a couple fighters. I mean, we're just curious about it. Is it what you know? It's not who you know. Is it what you know? Or
It's definitely yeah. Because I mean, like I'm contender. I want contenders. I head kick knocked a guy out like WWE Sweet Chin Music. Like Michael Bisping had me as a number 1 pick for the night. Great performance. I did all of that with a broken hand. Still didn't get signed. And I'm just like, what do I have to do? I mean, it was a textbook like Sweet Chin Music knockout, and still did. It's just there's a lot of politics involved. And then it doesn't being a welterweight sucks too. It's one of the 2 weight classes that's absolutely packed to the brim. So that's not good.
Now we've got David Feldman coming up here in the near future. Have you ever thought about bare knuckle boxing?
Man, no, I won't. Like, absolutely not. First of all, like you're not hitting me with a bare fist. Like, I'm not about that life. Like, not happening. Caleb Harris is a buddy of mine. He's like, oh, let's do it. I'm like, no. He's like, come do bare knuckle boxing. I'm like, no, bro. Like, you're braver than me. It's not happening. And plus, I have had so many hand surgeries and injuries that, like, the thought of punching anything without gloves, wraps, and padding on is terrifying to me. Like, I've shattered my hands. I'm just like, I can't. It's not sitting with, like, broken hands again, man. I hate it.
Yeah, it's what, as we see him, we had Jim Allers on, a few weeks ago, and it was the same thing. It's just, he's 4-0, and it just you watch it just straight out the gate. I mean, it's just out of the clinch, just pow, just hammering.
I deeply enjoy not having my face cut up. Like, I've been watching those fights, and I'm just like, man, even when you win, like I pride myself in, like, can go through fights beating people up with no marks on my face. I am really proud of my ability to box. And then I just see people coming through with wins, like cut to ribbons, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not that brave. I'm okay saying I'm not that brave. Know thyself. And like Chris isn't okay with like getting my face cut to ribbons. I'm fine.
I mean, but so those doesn't really be lacerations in the MMA. They just be you just start to leak. I mean, they're cuts, but
yeah, I mean that's true. That's true because like I have a habit. I tend to cut people very badly a lot. And just I have like changed people's appearance all the time, but I've been hit by some shots. Like, I've got tough skin, which is great. I've been hit by some shots. I'm like, man, that could have been bad. But I've hit people with like just knuckles before and seen the cuts open. And I'm telling you. So in a lot of MMA, a lot of times you land a punch, it opens a cut, and you don't notice it right away until you're like, oh, he's cut. I've hit somebody with a bare fist and seen like the skin open, and I'm like, that's not okay. Like you're seeing it as it happens. It's not okay, man. I can't. I like my face, man. I like my face a lot.
Now, so you're in your fights. Just watching. What would you say is your favorite? Tactic? Do you want to get them on the ground, or are you just more happy to stay upright and strike it out?
I have out of like 40 MMA fights, 40 something, like 50 fights now total. I think I have 3 takedowns to my credit. Like I just don't. Like I don't. I just prefer to punch people into oblivion. Like I'm a bigger dude, but I'm not one of the heavier punchers that I've come across. But on the flip side, I have no problem hitting you, 40, 50, 60 times around. Actually, I set the record for the PFL punch differential in my first fight where I landed like 112 more punches to my opponent.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I don't have to knock you out. I don't have to stop you right away. I will beat you until you give up. And
so
that's
some
so
straight
you're giving him a whole clinic. You punched 130 times. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
He just got beat. Like, it was bad because, I'm one of those guys I'm always smiling when I fight. And it's not like, the Sam Alvey smile. I'm smiling because I'm beating you up. And it's just, it's fun to see like just guys realize that they're in there and they can't win, and then they're just getting hurt. Like I like to say that I'm not an executioner, man. I'm a torturer. Like I will beat on you until you decide that it's over.
Wow. Well, I was wondering. I mean, because like you said, you'll see some people that just they get a lot of decisions, knockouts, but then you see one. It's like, man, I like to take somebody to the ground, but it's just most of the time I just end up knocking them out first.
No, I just beat people. I literally, my entire strategy is to just beat on people until like you'll see people break, man. Like if you ever see my, and sometimes they don't break. Like if you ever see my fight with Matt Dwyer, I mean, I explode this man's nose into like, I mean, the fight had made like the newspapers in Russia about how bloody it was. I just exploded this man's face, and he wouldn't give up, so I just kept hitting him.
He paid for that later.
We might get another headline like that from Belgium when you took care of the French guy, right?
Oh, I'm planning on. Oh, that guy already annoys me. I plan on hurting him deeply. Like, I'm very excited for that. He's already just bothering me. But Peter Gratchgar, I knocked this guy out. Like, I mean, he did a front flip and like rolled. He got back up and then let him continue. So I just kept hitting him. Like, I'll do this for as long as you want to. Like, it doesn't bother me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Sounds pretty vicious to me.
Yeah.
I'm the nicest dude ever, though. I'm the nicest dude ever. Who do I want to call out? You guys don't know. I have a long-standing beef with Mike Perry that will one day be settled. And like,
we'll look him up and try to connect it. We'll try to connect the dots here. That's what we do. Connect dots.
Perry. Absolutely hate Mike Perry. Like, every time
have you ever been?
All right, now so if we do get him on the show, would you be willing to come on so we could try to have the two together?
He's blocked me on every other platform. Like, I hate
I'm not going to do the Jerry Springer thing. It's like, hey, Mike, yeah, let's talk right here. Hey, guess what? We got somebody that wants to say hi to you.
He was on a UFC Nashville card, and I remember I was there. Sam Alvey was fighting years ago, and he called security on me. It was great.
He's scared to fight. He's scared to fight you, or what?
He's just a dick, and I don't like. I need to forgive. Realistically, I need to forgive him and let it go, but I'm petty, so like it's hard. I'm a very petty man, so it's very hard to just let things go.
Wow.
I know my shortcomings. It's fine.
That's all. That's awesome. No, I'm serious. But I mean, if we could get him, like I said, I would love to get it. It's like, all right, what do we have to do to just the man desperately wants closure. He was on our show. He wants closure.
Man. I just want to know what's happening. Like, I guarantee Mike Perry doesn't even remember who I am at this point. He blocked me like 2 years ago. And
yeah. Can you help this man, find some inner peace? He has to close the chapter on this book, please.
I know one of his teammates, Philip Rowan, and actually Philip and I didn't get along for a long time, but give him down. And Philip's like, man, he's a really good guy. So like, I'm trying to let it go, man, but it's hard. Like, it's 2020. We're different now. I'm trying to be different, but it's a process and it's hard, man.
Have you ever had any fights in Florida?
I played on the beach once, and it was horrific. It was, oh man, it was so hot. I never want to go back to Florida again. It's the hottest in the world.
Debbie knows.
I fought in Daytona Beach, and I remember I was cutting weight. So I was like, okay, I'll put on like a sauna suit and like a layer and go run. And I remember I was on like not even 2 blocks from my hotel. I'm throwing into the bushes. I'm like running in compression shorts, like on the sidewalk dying. And I was like, this is worse than Arizona. How do you all live here? Yes, it is Mike Perry. Yes, Platinum Perry. Yeah.
Debbie just said she knows him, and she goes, I'll try to get him on.
Dude, you all need to leave. That dude's lost his mind. He's like dropped his team. He's like, I don't need coaches. I just have my girlfriend in my corner. I'm like, oh my God, like he's going full Diego Sanchez. So like,
no, she knows. Debbie knows everybody. Debbie will see if Debbie might get you that match.
Yeah, might be able to get you in touch with it.
Tell UFC to sign me, Conley, Debbie. Like, I'm counting on you.
All right. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just what Man, that's some of the things like what we did the show. It's amazing just how connected. It seems like a vast community where there's so many people, and then all of a sudden you'll have something just like this where somebody that you wouldn't think would have that piece of the puzzle. All of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, I know him. I can get a hold of him.
Remember the game everybody played a few years ago? Like, was it the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, whatever? MMA is just like that, man. It's such a big community, but everyone's so interconnected.
Yes.
It's so strange, but it's really amusing because I've met so many people, like so many. It's insane just because someone has trained with someone or someone knows somebody else. It's really insane, but it's a really huge but intertwined community. It's odd. I've never seen anything else before.
Debbie says she is so on it. She is so on it.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what we can't do to help. King of Combat find a little closure. And,
I just want to talk to Mike Perry. Like, we got to figure this out, man.
Yeah. Like I said, if they just have that, have that kumbaya moment after the game.
I mean, I think there you go. I'm down for this. This is totally fine.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll see what we can do. That's cool. So, what have you been doing to prepare to get ready for this about obviously with the whole COVID lockdown screwing everything up?
Man, I've been staying at it. I've been training. We've had like our underground resistance movements of training happenings where people can't talk about it. But I've been working out pretty consistently, like during the entire thing, doing conditioning, everything else. And now we've got our gym's back open, so we can start doing stuff. But I don't really take time off, man. Like I don't work a regular job. I haven't worked a full-time job or even a part-time job in years. All I do is train. So I'll always find a way to make sure that I'm training. Like I'm one of those people I get yelled at a lot about my training load. I train way more than is probably necessary or good for me, but I'm one of those people who's if I don't feel 100%, like I put 100% effort in, I won't feel comfortable fighting. I hate not feeling comfortable fighting. So, I'm a guy who I'll train 6-7 hours a day, every day. Like, I've got 4 or 5 sessions a day in. So I'm working on getting not doing that much, but I'm always somebody who's training. Like, I'm always going to be training. Like, it's really hard for me to. I don't understand how people can even go into fights only half-assing their training. Like, I would have a heart attack. Like my heart would. I don't understand it. Like I only feel confident because I'm like I've spent so much time doing this, preparing that I can't possibly suck, as bad as you think you do. But you got guys who will train twice a week and go fight. And I'm just like, I wish I had either your ignorance or your confidence, like whatever it is. It's
wow.
So why don't you get a job at the gym?
I don't. So
I mean, you're at least getting paid for doing what you're doing all day long.
Actually, I did. I was teaching boxing for a little bit, but for me, man, I can't. Fighting is something that requires 100% of my attention and focus, and I don't like splitting that, especially when I have a camp coming up. Like if I'm not fighting, I'll gladly like teach classes or whatever if needed. But if I have a fight coming up, I can't split my focus between other things. Like I'm one of those people. I'm all in. Like if I do something, I have to be all in doing it. So I don't enjoy having my focus split, having to worry about other things. I want to do. If I'm fighting, everything I do for the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks is focused on fighting. Like there's no deviation from the end goal. Singularity of purpose. Everything I do is about me getting to this point.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's pure dedication.
I've given up a lot. Dude, I've given up a lot, man. A lot of I'm 33 now. There's so much stuff that I never got to do. I'm never going to be able to do just because of fighting. I'm in Vegas right now. My family and my son is actually in Cincinnati, Ohio. And, I haven't seen him since I saw him in February when I went back home. But, I moved out here and I was in California before that for a long time. I lived in San Valley for a few years. So I was spending, 4 months in California, a month back home, 4 months in California, a month back home. And I've honestly, I will say that's why I go so hard because I've sacrificed a lot to get to the position I am. There's still more that I need to do. And my family has sacrificed a lot for me to be able to do this. So I have to take it seriously.
Yeah, we just interviewed Sam.
Smiley, I lived with Sam for a few years.
Yeah, we just had him on, so that was cool. It was him and the him,
Kids.
McKee and the 5 kids were all in the car. Yeah, it just yeah. So she was such a trooper. In order to let him have the interview with us, she had to take the youngest out of the car so that way he could hear in order to be able to have the interview. So it's one of those McKee, like I said, thank you so much. That was so nice of you. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they are just funny watching his brood expand. But I was like, man, I remember there were 2, and there's 3, and there's just more. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, he's just some of the funniest kids who've ever lived, though. Like, I have some of my funniest memories and stories involve his kids being kids. Like, so I mean, he's definitely they're an interesting family.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we were giving him a hard time. We're like, how did you land a supermodel? I mean, seriously, man. You get.
Oh my god.
He was like, I was with her before she was a supermodel. So
You're like the Tom Brady of MMA. What the hell? Come on.
You guys talk to him again. Ask McKee about how she likes his ankles. Like that's how he's Sam one. He does little ankle swirls and like it's a funny story. Just trust me.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, next time we have him on, if you're not busy, you can come be a co-host. I mean,
I'll make fun of him. He's a it's guy like. It's funny though because if you're arguing with Sam, if you're arguing if you're winning at all, he's like, "Well, who married a supermodel?" And he raises his hand, and you're like, "Okay, man, like that's fair, fine." And he's like, "Well, one of us married a supermodel," and you're like, "Yes, you did, Sam." I'm like, "Congratulations."
Well, we can keep it going along like we did with Sam. Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Man, as a kid, I was always Leonardo because I was like, "Oh yeah, like." It's like a really I want to be like a leader person. As an adult, I'm like, man, Raphael had it right. Like this is all stupid. We're doing stupid stuff. I just want to be people. So as an adult, I'm like, Raphael was actually the only sane turtle. Like I'm not gonna hide in shadows. I'm a 6'2", 300-pound turtle. I'm just gonna go beat shit up. Like so.
Yeah, we got some things in common here, sir. I'm like that. That was always mine. Right?
You said Power Rangers. You look like you like the Red Ranger. That was my favorite Ranger.
Dude, I was always a leader, man. I was always a leader. And I was so big on Power Rangers. Do you remember back in the day, like when the first Green Ranger appeared? I remember crying when the episode to where they had the White Ranger and he took his helmet off. He took his helmet off. And right before you could see his face, it was like to be continued. And I remember breaking down in tears. I was so stressed. Like really, young me was so stressed. Like, who is it? I was bawling my eyes out. Like I was hard for Power Rangers.
Wow.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, those were good shows. I mean, it's one of those. Everybody looks back on them. They're like, "Oh, these are terrible." I'm like, "No, I know." As you're growing up, these are amazing.
Dude, the Beetleborgs. You look back on that, and you're like, "Man, this is like an acid trip, happening. Like really, really bad acid trip." As a kid, we loved it. My parents let us watch it, so it's questionable.
You used to watch Power Rangers and eat Dunkaroos and with your Slurpee. That's Power Rangers for me.
Saturday morning, Dunker. Yeah,
they brought them back. Dunkaroos.
I saw. Who, when, who, and where was your first fight? Bro, I don't know what year that was. It's been probably how old am I? Probably about 13 years ago. My first MMA fight was about 13 years ago. It was a combat instructor. I don't remember his name, but it was at Spears Gym in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, man. The rest of it's just missing and blanked out between time and head trauma. So,
how old is that combat instructor? I mean, is that something that you could have a rematch?
No, he was a Marine combat instructor. He was a year or two older than me. I mean, I don't.
So, would you ever be interested in a rematch?
I'm pretty sure he's off doing his real military job as I've been out here just fighting people. I really don't think he was. I think he just showed up to fight because he was bored. I don't really know. I wonder what happened to that guy. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking because you were saying it's it's I won, but I didn't really, I probably shouldn't have won. And I'm like, how about a rematch? Like I said, then you could actually have that.
At this point in my life, I could easily drag him if he's the same as he was. I would drag him easily. But yeah, starting out, man, that was a wake up call. Oh my god.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Christopher, I really want to thank you for coming on, sir. It was we definitely want like Chris said, to have you on again, a guest host, bring you on for sure.
I love it, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on, man. It's been great.
Yeah. So who are we plugging, sir? You get, gear, sponsors, the floor is yours.
Who am I sponsors. What sponsors? Outside of that, thanks to the gym and everybody, John Wood, Syndicate MMA out here, moving out here. They have been great. It's a year and a half in now. It's been a great relationship. John's a great coach. It's nice to have like my first real heavy head coach. And all my teammates out here are freaking awesome. I've got some really good friends out here. I've made a lot of progress. So thanks to all those guys. And thank you to, they're going to yell at me because I forgot what I was going to say. I'm trying to think of a name. My management company. They're going to yell at me. Iridium, thank you. Oh, God. Head trauma, guys. Seriously, don't let your kids fight. The head trauma is real. Thank you for Iridium Sports Agency, man. They're my management company, and they have done a lot for me, especially for fighters in the future, guys coming up. Know that your management's going to make a huge difference, and be smart about management. Don't do it on your own. Don't let your friend do it. Get with somebody who is going to have your best interest in mind and who's going to spend the time, the energy, and have the resources to elevate your career. So, thank you to those guys a lot. They've kind of stepped in and they've done a lot for me. So really thank you to, Lance Spouty and Jason House and all the other guys that are radio for taking care of me. They've definitely helped me change my life around this last year. I went from making I was making $20,000 a year to I can pay my entire rent off a fight check, and I'm in the black for the first time in my life as an adult. So
awesome.
Thank you guys a lot.
Congratulations. That's cool. As I said, we like to see the success.
Definitely, if you can drop your information on the message board so we can send you out some beard oil. Our beard care sponsor. We definitely like to send you some.
Oh, dude, yeah. I need to actually get mine trimmed. The barbershops are open again. It was actually a lot longer, but I had to get it cut down midway through the crisis because it was just getting out of control. I couldn't get it trimmed, but I can't wait to grow it back. It's already luscious and full again. So
yeah, so just direct message us your address and stuff, so that way you don't get thousands of stuff that you weren't expecting showing up in your So yeah, don't put it on the general chat. Yeah, just send a direct message or else
I will make a video review for this. So I will come back on. We'll have a talk about the beard oil.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I appreciate it a lot. It's a fun time.
It's our pleasure, sir. We look forward to having you on again. So like I said, we will chat here shortly. I'll message you. Like I said, I'll get that information from you.
Message me, man. I'm down for whenever, man. Just let me know.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Well, guys, you be safe. Take care.
Thank you, Chris. Right. Bye.
Well, this episode has been brought to you by Bratz Beard Care. Amazing beard oil. Make those beards nice and soft. So, because when that significant other is snuggling up next to you, they do not want to be making out with a piece of steel wool. They want something that feels nice and soft and smells good. It doesn't smell like dinner from the last night. So use Bratz Beard Care. Get that oil. Use the beard soap. Use promo code 3beards when you go to bratzbeardcare.com, and that's going to save you 20% off your entire order, and all of his orders are always free shipping. So go to him, Nanny Cakes, Nancy Burke, 407-923-2898, or Nanny Cakes 407. Mention 3 Beards as well, and you're going to save 15% off on cakes here in the Central Florida area. And that's quite a savings, especially if you're 15% off a wedding cake, birthday cake. So please check her out. Check us also out at 3beardspodcast.com. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share us with your friends. Instagram, we are 3 Beards Media Group. So go there, check us out, follow that, please. Share that out with people, and check Facebook. Please like and follow this page. Share this with all your friends. Get this out so we can grow. We can get more of these fighters some exposure and get their name out as well. Go to fightmixer.com and 3beardspodcast.com and check out our merchandise and help us out with that. And we're looking here. I don't have Austin with the schedule, so bear with me. I will look real quick. I should have been prepared for that one.
Yes, you should have told me.
I know. Coming up, we have Shelby Corinne and Chelsea Ray coming up on Sunday. So it's going to be ladies' night on Sunday night. So that be prepared for that. Thank you for watching, everybody. Debbie, thank you for checking in on that for us. Maybe we'll be able to land Mike Perry. That'd be cool. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you for watching. Please like and share us. Get our name out there. We appreciate it. And I guess, if you want to see me without my shirt on with the painted words, I was wrong, go buy that beanbag
Buy
chair.
the beanbag chair.
It's not happening. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Have a great night. We will see you Sunday. Good night.